We have Virginia Tech with an absolute of a home run hire, man. Former Penn State head football coach James Franklin will be the new head football coach at Virginia Tech. And as a Virginia native, as a guy who grew up a Virginia Tech fan, I am super excited about this hire. In my opinion, James Franklin is one of the best pure winning coaches, best head coaches available in this coaching carousel, man. You're getting a winner, you're getting a culture builder, and let's not forget, he was just in the playoffs last season. He was a couple of plays away from taking Penn State to the national championship game. In my opinion, Virginia Tech got a hell of a steal as a head football coach, and I'm super excited to see what James Franklin does at Virginia Tech. And if I'm James Franklin, out of all the jobs in the coaching, that's open in the next year or so, this job right here at Virginia Tech was a no-brainer, man. You have a great, passionate fan base, great facilities, great support system, a huge alum base, just like Penn State. A once, proud, traditional college blue blood program, man. He gets a chance to bring that program back to its glory days. And I know the big gripe on James Franklin, right? He can't win the big games. He couldn't beat Ohio State. He couldn't beat Michigan. But think about it for a second. Who was really beating Ohio State? Alabama. That's about it. Who was beating Michigan for real? Michigan was one of the best teams when John Harbaugh was the head coach there. And guess what, Virginia Tech fans? There's a legendary head coach that coached at Virginia Tech for decades who always won 8, 9, 10 games, was competing for conference championships, but he always came up short in those big games, the conference championship games, those big BCS bowl games. That's Frank Beamer, and to me, James Franklin is Frank Beamer 2.0. This right here could potentially be, if he wants it, a lifelong job. He can be at Virginia Tech for as many years as he wants to be, because even though Virginia Tech has high expectations, they want to win games, they want to go back to the glory days, you can have a 7-5 season, you can have an 8-4, even a 6-6, and he won't get fired, man. I think James Franklin's going to do one hell of a job at Virginia Tech, and honestly, Virginia Tech needed this hire, man. After Beamer retired, they hired Fuente, and they lost a lot of relations in the DMV area. I played football, my high school ball in Richmond. I ended up playing at Pitt. But, I stayed in contact with a lot of people in the coaches in the Richmond area and throughout Virginia, just hearing what goes on. Fuente burned a lot of bridges in the DMV region. And guess what? James Franklin recruits the DMV region like it's nothing. He has so many connections, so many ties. He runs that region. So I think we're going to see a lot of Virginia guys, Richmond guys, the guys from the 757, Nova, DC, PG County, Maryland. A lot of those guys are going to be coming to Virginia Tech. All those guys he had at Penn State that were committed to his program, even some players that were playing for him. Don't be surprised some of those guys come to Virginia Tech and commit there if they transfer there, because I've never really seen too many players say bad things about James Franklin. Most guys that I've seen speak about him, seen to speak of him in a positive light, and he's known to be a great recruiter, man. I bring up recruiting the DMV for a lot of reasons. It's so important to have that in your backyard, especially at Virginia Tech, because you're competing with Virginia, North Carolina, NC State, the Marylands, even Penn State. When James Franklin was at Penn State, some of his best players came from the DMV, and now those guys can come to Virginia Tech. And let's not forget, when Virginia Tech was consistently a top 25 teams, they owned the entire region. Think about the guys from Virginia, the Mike Vicks, the Tyrod Taylors, the Cam Chancellors, all 757 guys, and that's just a few, the most famous guys. You had guys like Logan Thomas. I believe he's from Lynchburg or something, somewhere out west. You had guys from Richmond coming up there, Northern Virginia, DC, that Maryland area. He's going to bring all those guys that were going to Penn State, that were going to out-of-state schools, and they're going to come back to Virginia Tech and play home, play close to their family. It's going to be great, man. I'm excited to see what happens. And what excites me the most about this hire is the fact that James Franklin, like I said before in this video, is nothing but a winner. He's won consistently at Penn State 9, 10, even 11 games every single year, competing for Big Ten championship slots, going to the playoffs. And he's going to the ACC, where it's very wide open. When I played in the ACC, I was in the ACC from 2018 to 21. And besides the 1 year where we won the conference, Clemson was the top dog every single year. That's what we've seen. Clemson is not that team anymore. Clemson is not the same program. And nowadays, you have teams like Georgia Tech, who was never good when I played, that's winning games. Virginia is very good. You got teams like Duke who's doing decent. It's very wide open. And with the recruiter he is, with the winning coach he is, if I'm a Virginia Tech fan, I'm thinking about ACC championship games. I'm thinking about possible playoff berths, New Year's Six bowl games. I'm super excited about what he can do, the excitement he's going to bring to this program. And honestly, I think this right here is a home run hire by Virginia Tech, which will go down as probably the best hire, the best steal of a hire in the entire coaching carousel. And I believe Penn State, you might have played yourself, buddy. You may have done this way too prematurely, because James Franklin's a damn good football coach. And I know, like I said before, The big gripe on him is that he can't win the big games. He couldn't beat Ohio State. But how many teams are beating Ohio State? I believe they're undefeated right now this year. No one's beating them, bro. They played themselves, man. They gave Virginia Tech a great hire. And in my opinion, as long as James Franklin wants his job, it's a lifelong job for him. He can coach Virginia Tech for as long as he wants and retire as one of the greatest head coaches possibly in Virginia Tech's history. But let me know what you guys think about this hire. I'm super excited about Virginia Tech and their future as a football program. Make sure to like this video, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more content.